Businesses in the Dominican Republic and those in the member countries of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, have the opportunity to access funding for their growth and development from the Caribbean Export Development Agency. CEDA's work and funding opportunities are made possible through funding from the European Development Fund scheme, of which the Caribbean is set to benefit from the 10th round. While CEDA has traditionally focused on providing support to small and medium-sized businesses, under the latest round of EDF funds, consideration is being given to creating an avenue which would allow for some of the larger businesses to receive funding support. The rationale is that these larger businesses can use the funding to retool and strengthen their own market access and then bring smaller businesses into the market.
The larger businesses are already out there. Many of them have already achieved market penetration to a great extent in some of the larger markets, including Europe, DR, Canada, the United States. What we want to look at is what I call a Trojan horse approach. The larger firms are already out there. How can we help them in retooling and enhancing their own competitiveness and their own penetration of the market, and then convince them to actually mentor smaller firms who they will carry into the market, who are unable themselves to have the kind of market penetration that a large firm would. So for example, we were just in Jamaica and we had a discussion with a very good firm, an old firm in Jamaica called National, and it's a bakery. But essentially what they have done, they started a program called the Bold Ones. And they actually took 6 small companies, brought them together, showed them how to do business plans, took them to London for the show in February. It was fantastic. They used their own trucks to carry their produce. They helped them get to the market. And that's what we want to try to support, that the larger firms who already have capacity, who are already out there, can actually help to leverage their access to help the smaller firms get there.
One of the areas where Caribbean Export expects this model to work well is in the tourism sector.
We have the Sandals chain. We have many chains. We have the Marriott, we have Four Seasons now opening up, and we've been in discussions with Four Seasons to some extent. If we can get some of our spa and wellness products into these, can you imagine? Somebody comes from wherever, Four Seasons, of course, and Marriott and these large Sandy Lane, they attract a lot of international high rollers. If they like these products, then that gives us an immediate access to all the other Four Seasons out there, all the other Marriotts, all the other, Hiltons. So the idea is to try to see how we can also utilize these chains to get smaller businesses into the larger markets.
However, the support to the larger businesses will not hinder funding availability to the smaller ones, as the Caribbean Export Development Agency will continue to provide all necessary assistance to small and medium-sized businesses. Additionally, CEDA will also be paying special attention to enhancing innovation and competitiveness of products coming out of the Caribbean.
What we're trying to encourage is an innovation that changes how we enter the value chain. And that's one of the new areas that we're forming in Caribbean Export. We're actually forming an innovation and competitiveness unit. And that innovation and competitiveness unit is going to be partnering with universities and other bodies throughout the world in enhancing our innovative capacity so that we're able to more effectively enter the value chain at a higher level and therefore get higher income. Sea Island cotton, that's another area. How do we take that raw material which is acknowledged as being one of the best in the world? How do we make that so that we can actually get high value added from it and do that in a way that doesn't break our pockets, in other words? So that's where we're aiming. That's our objective.
Under the 9th EDF scheme, 192 businesses received funding from the Caribbean Export Development Agency.